the latest Misfits event.
Yes. All right. Yeah. You know what? Let's do it. Weirdly, YouTube boxing has been like a substantial part of our podcast, so we might as well. In the great words of, I don't know, in the great words of Gandhi, this famous quote, that shit was ass. Yeah, the Misfits Prime Card event, which, you know, as we've established here, the backstory. We used to very much be involved in the YouTube boxing thing because we were KSI fans. I did stay up to watch KSI versus Logan Paul 2 on a I think it was actually on a weekday because I remember I had to I don't know. Anyway,
realizes he's actually the baddest boy.
Yeah, that's actually.
I think that's actually on a school night.
Yeah, I actually wasn't even. I'm just remembering it's just because I had to do an assignment the next day. But I stayed up to watch that. You know, we followed the scene, and then gradually I have lost interest, and it has become, you know, less interesting and more goofy. Also, because just, you know, I think you grow up.
It's taking itself a bit too seriously now and stuff like that.
And it's kind of. I mean, I'll be honest. I check out some of the highlights of these Misfits events, and they're kind of ass. Usually, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not. There's nothing really to write home about. But this felt kind of like a throwback. It's KSI, it's Logan Paul. They're on the same card. You know, it's kind of a nostalgic thing. So I did actually watch it. I did watch.
Oh,
the
so you watched that? You watched it live?
I did watch it live, and
God. I mean, in fairness, that was the plan that we were gonna do if everything.
Yeah, if everything had worked out. Ironically, just sadly, they were showing it in the cinema, and if you'd come to visit at that time, we would have gone. But also, I'm actually, in hindsight, I'm really fucking glad that didn't happen because that would have been such a fucking.
Because I hate you.
Yeah, because the event was awesome, but your presence would have ruined it. But it would have been such a fucking anticlimactic thing because those two main fights were some of the worst boxing events I've ever seen in my life.
Damn. And you've watched Deji fight.
Yeah, because the thing is, I mean, look, the Logan Paul Dylan Dennis thing, you know, I mean, it wasn't great. It was kind of semi-interesting because of, you know, all the build-up and the meme and whatever of it all building up to that. But then it was also still anticlimactic because Dylan Dennis, I mean, can I just say, and, you know, this is not, of course, they could all beat me up, but Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis, Tommy Fury, and KSI are all not good boxers, especially the first, the YouTuber crowd. Because Dylan Dennis didn't throw any punches, and, you know, he just kind of like, he's not a boxer. Logan Paul looked fucking
kind of
awful.
Went on the floor.
Yeah, he went on the floor. He tried to do a takedown, a guillotine. Logan Paul looked fucking terrible. No one's talking about that. Logan Paul looked fucking god awful. It was like, it's like he's never, like, he was completely off balance. He was overthrowing everything. Like, it's like, you've been...
So would you say his boxing when he fought KSI and Mayweather was like miles better?
Maybe not miles, but genuinely the whole fight, every punch he threw looked like
a few meters.
Well, when he fought Mayweather, there's the clip where he like goes crazy and he fucking like swings or whatever, and you know he's That's like how he basically, like, not with the same volume, but that's how he threw every single punch, just like his fucking foot's flying over the place. He's almost slipping out the ring. It's like, how the fuck have you been like talking all this shit about how you train? You're crazy and you're better than everyone else, and then you look like that, like. Oh my god!
And you look like a silly boy out there.
Again, could pummel me, of course, but what a fucking terrible boxer.
You say that,
well, you
but
know,
at the same time,
I'm kind of a beast.
You've done some boxing, so
I got that dog in me.
You're kind of swole.
And then KSI and Tommy Fury was just so fucking boring. I mean, it was just hugging, the like clinching. Was
the techniques better there? Because I only saw, like, you know, a few highlights. I didn't see the full thing.
Like, I guess the techniques were better, but like they both just kept doing the same thing over and over again, where like KSI would throw a giant overhand right, it would miss, and then he would be in position to hold on, and then Tommy Fury would throw a jab and then like follow up with a right hand and that would miss, and then he'd be in position to clinch, and they would do that for fucking, I don't know, 18 minutes, however long the fucking fight was. Like, it was just, especially, I think it's worse for Tommy Fury because, like, I get it, it's hard to fight someone who's unorthodox, but like, he kept just smothering his own work. He would like throw a jab and then he just fucking, you know, smush into him. It's like,
if you just went for it,
you clearly got to keep some distance. Like, yeah, and I don't know, and also KSI's behavior in the aftermath was pretty funny when he was. Do you see that?
No, I don't.
You didn't see it when he was like, how'd you win that? What the fuck? And he like a little toddler, he went over to the screen and like kicked. He was like, yeah, I should have won that. Like, it was genuinely like very embarrassing. That's the problem with this YouTube boxing thing, is that like it started out as like it's just kind of like entertaining, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then, but now it's gotten to the point where they're actually trying to like be good at boxing, and they're all fucking
Yeah, it's like
terrible at boxing.
That's like they need to, maintain the degree of self-awareness and kind of like silliness that they had in the beginning, because that's also what
Yeah.
kind of made it fun.
Yeah, you kind of like you can't
Yeah,
be
it's
in
like,
this weird middle
there's
ground.
these like YouTubers who are like clearly doing like all these like crazy stupid antics of like when they're doing the press conference and stuff that boxers would never actually do.
Yeah,
But now that they're trying to be, serious with it, and then they're still saying like, and that's the kind of like, it makes it just overall a little bit more cringe. Like some of the shit that KSI was saying in the press conference, it's like
it's so.
If he said that in like the beginning, with like when he was fighting like freaking
Joe Weller
or something like that, I'd be like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, no, it's like I listened to this fight, like an actual boxing podcast called The Fight Disciples, which is great, and they were talking about it, and they were like, clearly all these influencers have seen like a YouTube video, like highlight reel of like craziest boxing press conference moments, and so which happens like once in a blue moon, which is what makes it like crazy when it happens, and they just decided to do that every single time, and like it's like 20 people on stage all trying to be Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, and like, oh, I saw a video where he threw a water bottle, so I'm gonna throw a water bottle in it, and like of course they all push each other in the stare down now, because like that was the crazy moment when someone pushed someone in the stare down, so they have to do that, and then you get to the fight, and it's like, again, I guess it's my fault for being at all interested in like KSI versus Tommy Fury, but you get to the fight and it's just like a really shitty amateur fight. Like if you didn't know who was involved, there isn't even like an entertainment value in just like, oh, these guys are having a bit of a scrap. It's just like two guys who aren't very good.
These guys are just slow dancing, if you will.
Genuinely, yeah. I don't know, man. I'm pretty confidently done with like, because I'm already kind of done with it, but that was sort of the nail in the coffin for like, fucking hell, why did I could have been watching a UFC prelims while I was doing this, but
You say that, but then if KSI Jake Paul happens now,
I guess I'd watch that one specifically.
that was the final nail in the coffin, but I'm definitely gonna be a gravedigger and dig that shit back up and watch it.
You know what? I was thinking about this. It reminds me a little bit of Marvel movies where I'm less interested in it over time, and I'm kind of thinking like, did it get like much worse, or did I just get older and I was just like kind of a kid? And I like with Marvel movies, I think it's kind of a combination of the two. Like I think the quality has gotten worse, and also as you grow up, you are
losing the interest. So it's not the perfect balance that's happening right now.
No, but did you consume any of the Misfits content?
I not really. I know that Salt Poppy lost.
Devastating. I almost jumped out my window when Salt Poppy got KO'd by, of course, Slim.
I was truly devastated when I found out that Swarms was knocked out in 15 seconds.
Swarms did get slept. Also, my goat...
Swarms did get slept.
My goat, King Kenny, took an L, so that wasn't great.
We say we're not interested, but we're clearly super deep.
To be fair, there was one fight that was actually fucking great. It was these two guys called... And again, I've never fucking heard of these people from an influencer point of view, which, I don't know. Make of that what you will. Like, it's sort of meant to be, the whole point was it was like YouTubers who you've heard of. But it was Dean the Great and Waleed Sharks. Again, never fucking heard of them.
I feel like Dean the Great rings a bell, but
they put on a fucking awesome fight. Because they both actually, like, clearly have some kind of boxing experience. And so it's sort of like I feel like with this influencer thing, you either gotta have two people, i.e. a Swarms, who have no fucking clue what they're doing, and they just have, like, a bit of a scrap. Or you have two people like Dean the Great and Waleed Sharks who clearly like are kind of good at boxing and they can have like an actual fight instead of these weird kind of mismatches where it's like YouTuber who trains occasionally versus jiu-jitsu world champion, and like of course they're gonna have a fucking terrible fight. Like what did we expect? Why was I at all interested in this?
Truly.
God, I had my projector set up and everything. It was so cool. I told everyone that I watched the UFC the next day. They're like, "Oh, what'd you do last night?" I was like, "I watched the UFC." I've never even heard of Salt Poppy.
And now you're putting this out there so everyone knows.
Yeah, they are gonna know that I lied straight to their face. That's actually
Wait, you actually just watched the UFC? Gulps.
Remembers the Slim KO?
Remember Swarms' fate?
Oh god.
So would you say that the two guys, Waleed Sharks and whatever, Dean the Great, do you think that if they, I don't know how big they are, but if they were to fight like Logan Paul or KSI, would they beat them?
If they were the same size, yes, but they're like a very small weight class. They're like 135 pounds. Even so, though, I honestly wouldn't. I would like not be surprised if
Okay.
It's also because, you know, I don't know if you saw this, but like Logan Paul was talking about how he's way better than Jake Paul, and I can't believe I'm fucking talking about this like internet Paul drama. But there was a clip where he was like, I'm way better boxer, and like I don't think Jake Paul's good either. But he's infinitely fucking worse. Like, so obviously.
Yeah.
Just like from the eye test. Like, a fucking baby could tell you who's the better boxer.
Yeah,
So,
it's just the skill. Also,
skill.
I don't know. I think the overall kind of approach they have to it, and like the press conferences that Jake Paul does. Again, I'm not a fan of the man at all, but I think they're more effective and they work better than what Logan does.
Yeah, I don't know. He kind of... I'll say that it's all kind of cringe. You know what I mean? Like, we can leave it at that. But if you enjoy it, that's all good. I mean, again, you know, because I know some people in our audience do actually like it, and we come on here and we say it's so cringe, whatever. I did actually watch it. You know, I got a bucket of popcorn,
UFC.
and instead of the UFC, I did watch that. So you know what I mean? Like, I can say all this all I want, but Misfits number 11, when FaZe Jarvis is fighting, I will be there.
A tough sentence to hear.
Yeah, that one kind of hurt to get out. God.
Also, was it just my imagination, or did Dylan Dennis say in a post this fight that he would fight like John Jones and win?
yeah, but he's just like, no one should give him attention anymore because he clearly just did all this with the intention of getting DQ. Like I was surprised he didn't pull the guillotine in the first round because clearly he can't box. So I thought he was just gonna like try to meme his way out of it and like go for a takedown and get disqualified, and then like end it like that. So like the fact that he couldn't even do that, you know, he couldn't even like get disqualified right is like embarrassing.
Honestly,
God. Anyway.